welcome to my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. This is my spoiler review, so fair warning right now to anyone who has not seen the movie yet. Don't watch this. It'll ruin literally the entire movie for you. So just leave right now. You can check out my non-spoiler review. Instead, it is currently up. And yeah, once again, I have to be talking in a hushed voice because it's 24-hour quiet hours. Currently studying for finals. I have all of my study guides going on right here. I literally just took like a mental break as I finished my English study guide to make this video. So you're welcome. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get right into it. I've had a couple of days, I saw it on Friday night, so I've had a couple of days now to kind of process what I've seen, and man oh man, there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so again, my overall reaction was, and I think especially now that I've been able to take a step back, I definitely have to see it again and then I'll have a clearer view of the entire movie, because it just, as I said in my other review, it was like a tsunami that went over my head. But my overall reaction is that I did really like it. But we're just gonna jump right into the characters, and I know that I just said I really liked it, but I'm gonna tell you something that I didn't like, and that's the first. This is the very, okay, there's two big things that are making this movie like difficult to process in my head in terms of whether or not I truly liked it. And one of them is the fact that, please, last warning, if you are here and you have not seen the movie yet. Okay. The fact that Luke Skywalker died is just not okay with me on any level. And I mean, it's more so, it did kind of, it felt right in terms of his story arc, but it was just, I hated the way that they teased it. And then, so you think he's gonna die, you think Rey's gonna like go dark and kill him, and then that doesn't happen. You think they're gonna kill him with all the bullets, and then that, even though I didn't think that was gonna kill him, but maybe a casual movie theater, like moviegoer would think that he'd be killed by all the gunfire, but that wasn't it. And then you think Kylo killed him, and then that wasn't it. And then you think, oh, he finally survived, and then he died. And I was just like I hated that so much. I think it was just cruel. We finally have Luke Skywalker back. We finally got to see him in action. I mean, I really, really want to see more of Master Luke, like fully in control of his Jedi powers, like just slaying it on the battlefield. And we only got to see that for like 30 seconds, and he wasn't even really there. And my roommate and I were just like hating ourselves because when he had first appeared to Leia, we were like, oh, that might not be him. I don't think that's him. And like, how would he even have gotten there? Like in the cave in Crate, I'm talking about. I mean, we knew his X-Wing was there, but we wanted to see him flying it if he was gonna, but he never even took it out of the water, so that's another annoying thing, because that would have been full circle from Empire Strikes Back when he couldn't take the X-Wing out of the swamp. So that's another missed opportunity. But we didn't, but when he touched Leia, we were like, oh, maybe he is there, and then so we kind of bought it, and then so he walks out, and it's all like, oh, Luke is here, that's so cool, oh my gosh, he's gonna like fight Kylo, this is great. And then, but looking back on it, we've realized things like his lightsaber was blue, and that his blue original lightsaber was destroyed when Kylo and Rey were fighting, and I'll get to that later. But we didn't even process it. And then he should have had his green lightsaber, and also he wasn't making any footprints on the soil of Crate, of the ground, which was like when the salt, like they saw other people leaving footprints, and it was like would leave like a red mark, and Luke didn't leave any footprints, so he was so clearly not there, but it was so like under the radar that I didn't notice. And man, I mean, when Kylo like zooped him, I thought that Kylo just like turned the lightsaber off at the last second when Luke turned around and was like, I'm fine. But then I realized when he like put it straight through Luke, I was like, oh my god, he's not there. I feel like such an idiot. And it was really cool to see Luke being all like Jedi mind tricks on everyone, but I low-key like really wished he went, and and then he just died. He just disappeared, and I was just I didn't feel fulfilled. I mean, we all know that like we got a small little glimpse of the amazing Master Jedi that Luke had grown to be, and we barely got to see it, and now he's dead and we're never gonna see it, and that just bugs me so much, because all of the movies have been about Skywalkers. Like the original trilogy, all about Luke and his father, and then the prequels about Anakin's journey to being Darth Vader, and then even The Force Awakens, some would argue that it's about Rey, but like it is about Rey, but they're also like trying to find Luke Skywalker. And what are they going to do for episode 9? Because there are no true Skywalkers left. And maybe it could be about Kylo Ren, but if this trilogy is about Kylo Ren, then what was The Force Awakens doing? Because it's kind of about Rey. And it hurts. It really hurts. And that segues me into another member of the original trilogy, which is Leia Organa, Princess Leia. I think she should have been killed off in this movie. And I'm saying that not because I wanted them to, deep down I don't want them to have altered Carrie Fisher's storyline after she passed, but if Lucasfilm promised to not make a digital version of her for episode 9 and Carrie Fisher isn't there to act anymore, then how is she gonna die? Like, is she gonna have an on-screen death? Because that is, like, Leia deserves more than an off-screen death. And that just really bugged me, and I thought they did it. I mean, I started crying when she was in space, like, floating like that, and I thought it was so beautiful. And I was like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful send-off, and I was crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, Princess Leia's dead, Carrie Fisher's dead, this is the worst. And then her finger twitched, and I was like, wait, what? And like, I was relieved, but then she did that really, like, really weird and corny and poorly CGI'd, like, floating back to the spaceship thing, and I was just like, what the heck? Because that looked so bad. I'm sorry. Like, in my opinion, that did not look good, and it really disappointed me, and I was just like, that would have been a perfect send-off. And frankly, she didn't even really need to be in the rest of the movie. I mean, I liked seeing Leia and Luke reunite, but other than that, like, all of her lines could have been given to other people. I mean, I have to see the movie again, but that's just my take on it after seeing it once. I think that would have been a nice death for her, especially after Kylo not doing it, not killing her, but then it being just some random other TIE fighters. That's just what I think, but it was kind of heartbreaking to have the movie end and then having Luke be gone, but then Leia wasn't, because I totally thought that Leia was gonna die in this movie, but that I was hoping Luke would survive. Luke dying was actually probably my worst fear going into this movie, and the biggest wish I had going into this movie was seeing Luke fight with a lightsaber, and I got both, which I'm not okay with the fact that I got both. I only wanted one. And on top of that, with the two of them, I mean, their reunion was really nice, but also, how did being sucked into the dark, cold void of space not make Leia simultaneously just like implode? How did that not kill her? But Luke, in his mind, going to Crate and doing that fight, like, how did that kill him? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe being on that island for like 50 years or so like really drained him, but I mean, it just, yeah, that was hard to see, and I'm still not over it, and I can't believe they did that. But I mean, I love Mark Hamill so much, and I hope that he continues to like come back as a Force ghost, because it's about the Skywalkers, and at least finish this trilogy with them. I mean, and give them a death that feels fulfilling. I mean, I don't feel like we got the proper end to Luke Skywalker. And that's just my opinion. I'm sure some people who have I wasn't alive in the 80s, but people who have watched the movie from when they were a kid and they came out with the original trilogy, like all the way through, I wonder how those people feel about the fact that Luke was killed. But like, me personally, having only gotten, like, I haven't been a Star Wars fan. I mean, I've known about, I've had like general knowledge of Star Wars for my whole life, but I haven't been like a true Star Wars fan until the last couple of years. So it's just, it hurts. I feel like I didn't get much time with him, but yeah, I'm gonna move on. So my whole video isn't about Luke Skywalker. We're gonna move on to Leia, but I mean, yeah, I didn't even talk about Leia that much. I did, but I didn't. Okay, well, I'm gonna say this. I think that Carrie Fisher did a good job, but I wasn't all in on all of Leia's, like, her role in this movie. I just thought it was kind of, it took a backseat and it was weird, but they had so many characters to deal with, and I don't know why they dug themselves into that hole, but whatever. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I miss you. We're gonna move on to Rey. An amazing character, but I did not know how to feel about her in this movie. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, Rey, don't make me hate you, because I was like, girl, if you turn against Luke Skywalker, I'm gonna be very upset. And she almost did. She kind of did. But she didn't. Again, I have to see this movie again, but I think it's really cool how overpowered she is. But I liked the fact that we saw her training and like actually taking her skills with the staff and translating them to the lightsaber. I think that explains a little bit about why she was like oddly good at using a lightsaber the second she picked it up in The Force Awakens, because she did have like similar, she knew how to wave things with sticks. Oh my god, Emily. But yeah, I think Daisy Ridley did a really good job. She really pulled off the fight sequences. That part where she was in that black hole of the dark side and it's the mirror, whatever that was really cool. I didn't know why it mattered, like why that was even in the movie, but it was cool. Yeah, I think she looked really cool with the lightsaber. And I'm just excited to see where Rey goes. I like the fact that her parents are nobody. I think that's a huge commentary on the fact that you don't have to be born into like a certain status to be special. You kind of obviously status, like being born into a certain status helps, but not everyone of the upper class or of descendants of the Skywalkers, people who aren't born into those situations can still be like powerful and heroic and all of that. So I think that was I really liked that. It was a satisfying answer. Although I did a little bit through the movie when she had that connection with Kylo, I was like, wait a minute, are you Han Solo's daughter and Leia's daughter? Like, what? But no. Okay. I kind of would have, I don't know if I would have been satisfied with that. I think I might have been, because I developed the theory and I would have been proud of myself, but I like the fact that her parents were nobodies too. And yeah, I think this is so superficial and small, but the fact that Daisy Ridley, maybe it was just the way that the film was shot, but like she looked tanner in this movie than she did in the last movie, and for some reason, like, that was really bugging me. So we're gonna move on. I don't know why that bugged me so much, but I think Daisy Ridley is an amazing Rey, and I love that character so much, but also she kind of took a backseat in like the last third of the film. I don't know if any of you noticed that, but it was weird, and I was like, where's Rey? Like, where did she go? And she comes in on the Millennium Falcon. It was cool, and Chewbacca, woo! Chewbacca. I'm just gonna talk about Chewbacca next. Amazing, love him as always. Small role, but in this movie, but it was it's always a great one because we love you, Chewie. Okay, now we're gonna talk about Kylo Ren. This movie made me love Kylo Ren, and it made me love Adam Driver as Kylo Ren too, because Adam Driver did an amazing job, and they really fleshed out Kylo Ren's character a lot more. And I mean, man, he's awesome. When him and Rey were fighting together, which again, I will, you know what, I'll just talk about it right now. Sorry. That was incredible. When she did the drop trick that she did in The Force Awakens with the Millennium Falcon, when her and Finn were trying to get away on Jakku, where she like turned off the engines of the Millennium Falcon and it dropped, and then Finn could get like the perfect angle, and then he started shooting and he killed the TIE fighter. She used that exact same move with the lightsaber. She was stuck in a tight position, and then she dropped her lightsaber, went down, and then like stabbed it. It was amazing. The fight choreography I loved. And when they were fighting, and then when she tossed it to Kylo Ren and he turned it on into the guy's eye, that was crazy. Or girl, I don't know, but I'm assuming it was a guy because I feel like the First Order doesn't have very many female workers. And then I also really liked when they were fighting back to back, and one of the YouTubers I love, Grace Randolph, she was talking about how they're the kind of, Kylo and Rey are kind of a yin and yang to each other, like the how Snoke said, when darkness rises, or when darkness something, the light will rise to meet it. And when they were fighting back to back, they were literally making that yin yang shape. Like Rey would like lean back when he would like lean forward, and it was just like it was so cool. Everyone in my theater was cheering. I was in a cheering crowd, as I said in my non-spoiler review, and it's the best thing. Everyone was cheering during that part, and it was just so cool. I was like, ah, the whole time. It was just amazing. Yeah, but I really liked Kylo Ren in this movie. I liked the fact that we could still see an internal battle, but he's definitely more towards the dark side now than it looked like he was in the first movie. I like the fact that he destroyed the mask after Snoke's commentary about Vader. I think that was really interesting, and it was a very deep thing to do. I'm just gonna write something down really quickly so I don't forget to talk about it later. Let's move on. Actually, no, I also liked him in action. Seeing him fight, and it's just the way Adam Driver did it was so cool. It was like, it's interesting because when Vader was fighting, it's like he didn't even have to try. Like he was just like doon, 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 doon. And like in Rogue One, it was just so effortless to Vader because he was just so good. Like in the end of Rogue One, when he's walking down that hallway and he's like only moving his arm and he's deflecting all the everything, that's the phaser beams and everything. And I thought that it was really cool that Adam Driver like put all of his body into every move, but in a really powerful way. So I was like, Jesus, I wouldn't want to fight either of them. Oh my gosh, there's like no one in Star Wars that I'd want to be in a lightsaber battle with, because I wouldn't survive. Especially against Kylo Ren. It was just, And his lightsaber, the way that it's like broken almost, it's like it's screaming, and it's like going in the what is it called, a guard, a wrist guard or something, but it's not a guard at all because it's like it'll chop your arm off. So just poorly, it's not logistical at all, but it looks cool. But just like his lightsaber just looks so long and scary and dangerous, and he just like whips his whole body around and the lightsaber around. It's terrifying. And I really like the way that Adam Driver portrays Kylo Ren, and this movie made Kylo Ren one of my favorite characters in this trilogy, and that's impressive because I didn't like Kylo Ren after the first movie. He was a weak villain to me, but now he's not. So good job, Rian Johnson and Adam Driver. Good job. Now we're going to move on to Poe Dameron. Okay. I like that they gave Poe more to do, and I really like the fact that they still showed off how good of a pilot he was. When I was watching the movie, I was like, I hate the fact that they made Poe like this arrogant, terrible person. But it does make sense. It makes a little, yeah, it makes sense, that someone that talented could be that arrogant. But just a lot of what happened with him, Finn, and Rose, and then with Leia and Holdo, Admiral Holdo, I just didn't like any of that. I mean, I liked it and it was entertaining to watch, but then when it was all over, it's like that was all so pointless. Like there was actually no reason for any of that to happen. The only result of all of it was Captain Phasma dying. So like, yeah. But Oscar Isaac is really good as Poe. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't like pursue the whole Poe and Finn friendship or relationship even more. And now I'm confused because does Poe like Rey? Like, what was that greeting at the end? Like, that was like a little flirty. But we'll see where Poe goes. But I do like him as a character. And looking back on the movie, I think that the choices they made with his character made more sense. It just frustrated me that like everything they went through didn't really matter that much at all. So that was like in the great scheme of the First Order versus the Rebellion. So not the Rebellion, the Resistance, sorry, it's the same thing. And now we're gonna move on to Finn, John Boyega. Still like Finn, but I really want him to complete his dang character arc. Like, I thought by this movie he would kind of be past that whole like running away when it gets bad kind of thing, but he's not. And then he kind of completely faced that at the end when he was gonna self-sacrifice, even though Rose didn't let him. Sorry, my legs hurt. But now I hope that by episode 9 he's done with that because it's getting old. No more running away, Finn. No more running away. When things get bad, you have to stay because everyone else is staying too. And yeah, but I think that Rose like really balanced him out a lot, so that was good. I really like Rose. And I really like Kelly Marie Tran too. I think the two of them together were really good. The whole thing with Canto Bight, I thought it was like really weird, and when they were on those, I forget what they're called, when they were on those things and like running around through the city, I was like, this is so not Star Wars. It hurts. I mean, it took me out of the movie, so that's not good. That's why I'm commenting on it now, is because it removed me from the movie. I was like, I want to be back in, like, I want to be back with like the main storyline. It just, I don't know, it was weird, and again, it didn't mean anything by the time they were all over because they just got on the escape pods and went. So, I just, but I do like the fact that Finn got to face off against Captain Phasma. That was really cool. And I loved Rose. I really loved Rose. Now moving on to General Hux. There are so many characters in this movie. I loved General Hux. I loved the comedy that they added to his character. I think it made him a lot more interesting and a lot better. Donald Gleason was amazing. And I love like him versus Kylo in terms of who's in command. I think that's so funny. It's amazing. And it's weird that this Star Wars movie was funny, but I kind of liked it. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of liked it. Moving on to Snoke, Andy Serkis. Okay. Give Andy Serkis an Oscar or some sort of an award, because he literally plays everyone, and it's ridiculous. Because watching Snoke, I didn't see Caesar. I didn't see Gollum. Like, somebody tell me, like, what? This man is so talented. And I'm gonna be honest, I could not focus on anything Snoke was saying for, like, he started talking at one point, and I realized I wasn't even listening to Snoke because I was more focused on, like, the side of his face that's, like, all indented. It's so creepy. And I was like, is that his bone, like, pressed against his skin because it's white? And I was like, that's so gross. Like, it was so bad, but I couldn't focus. I loved Snoke's death. That was amazing. Still want to know more about Snoke, like, who the heck is he? How did he rise to power? Like, but none of that was fleshed out, so okay. But Snoke was good. I mean, he was a really good villain for, like, half of the movie while he was in it. So that was good. I liked the fact that he was manipulating Kylo and Rey. I didn't even think about that. It didn't even occur to me, because I thought they were siblings for a little while there. But it was really clever that he did that, and he showed each other what the other person wanted to see, and it was very interesting. But yeah, he's gone now, so whatever. Moving on to Captain Phasma. Gwendolyn Christie, you are a goddess. I love you. Brienne of Tarth is one of my favorite characters on Game of Thrones. I'm kind of bummed that you're dead now, because the reveal of your eye, I was really excited when I saw it, but looking back, I kind of wish they showed, like, more of your face. And I'm just kind of bummed that you're dead. Why am I talking directly to Captain Phasma right now? Sorry. Okay, I was kind of bummed that Captain Phasma was killed off, because I think that she was really good, and I kind of liked the idea of, like, every movie, her and Finn have, like, some sort of showdown. But she's gone now. We thought she died at the end of The Force Awakens, but she didn't. But she's definitely gone now because she fell into fire, and she's no Anakin Skywalker. So that sucks. But maybe she'll still be alive. Maybe she'll surprise us. Oh well, we'll see. But I like Captain Phasma. I think she could be a stronger villain, but I like the idea of her. So good. Maz. She had a very small role in this movie, but Lupita Nyong'o never disappoints. I really liked the fact that she was, like, fighting or something while she was talking to them. It made Maz look really cool. But she didn't have that much to do, so I can't really talk about her for that long. Moving on to DJ, Benicio del Toro. Didn't like this character at all. Kind of wish he never was in the movie. He was kind of cool at first, and then he just betrayed them and was a terrible person, and it had no payoff at all, and their entire mission had no payoff at all, and I was just really frustrated, and I didn't like this character. But Benicio del Toro did a good job, so good for him, but bad for me because I didn't like his role in the movie. I'm sorry. It was a cool idea, but then it just, that whole thing, it was so unnecessary, and then they didn't end up, like, getting much out of it. I mean, they introduced a stable boy, but are they gonna, like, continue with that, or is that just, like, a thing for the end of the movie? We won't know until episode 9. And then, I mean, they set the animals free, but I don't remember the names of them, and they're probably not that important, but it was a cute thing to do. And it was an important thing within the Star Wars universe to do, but in the great scheme of the movie, it wasn't that necessary. I mean, it developed Rose as a character, and it developed the relationship between Finn and Rose, but DJ was really just there to, like, get them in the clutches of the First Order and Captain Phasma, and then they were almost gonna die, but then they didn't, so it's like, the whole thing, just that whole thing was frustrating, and I didn't like DJ. But yeah, moving on to Holdo. Laura Dern, I love you. Purple hair, you rock it. But I didn't like Holdo at all. I was like, why are you portraying her to be evil? I mean, obviously Poe thinks she's evil. Again, this whole thing is so unnecessary. Just like communicate, Resistance. Communicate. You were just so poorly run in this movie. The whole Resistance is just a mess. And that's one of the reasons why the movie was frustrating. But again, I liked the movie. I don't know what's going on. But that's not even what I want to talk about with Holdo. I want to talk about the coolest thing ever was when she, and I was always wondering, why doesn't anyone just like light speed into another ship to just destroy it? Like, why don't they just light speed into the Death Star? Because I guess that would be insane self-sacrifice and you'd be losing a big ship of your own. But I always kind of wondered that in the back of my head with the movies, and then all of a sudden it just happened and she did it, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it. And she did it, and it was so cool. And it even, and like all the sound cut out, and it was just like the shots from like many different perspectives of it, and it was so beautiful but so like destructive at the same time. It was like I'm blanking on his name, but in Rogue One, when the Death Star fires and he's like, it's beautiful. Oh my god. Tarkin? General Tarkin? I don't know. Oh my god. Okay. But my brain is so fried. I have notes right now. But yeah. I thought that was just so cool. And I think it was really admirable of Holdo to do that. But her character just didn't seem like it had that much purpose. It would have more purpose if Leia wasn't there. And if Leia had died in the beginning, like I thought she did, but with just my brain, like I don't even know what's happening with this movie. We're gonna move on to the last character I have here, Yoda. Oh my gosh, the fact that Yoda was in this movie was perfect. It was perfect. It was adorable. I loved Yoda. Yoda, you were just great. You were great. Simple as that. You were great. That was great. And I like that he just like burnt down the Jedi temple for Luke. Like Luke is like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, and then just Yoda was like oh, that was great. Obviously he didn't play that big of a role, but I do wish I think that with Yoda there, that would have provided a good setup for the fact that Luke was gonna die later. Like saying like, you're nearing your time, or something like, something cheesy like that. Like, you have one final thing to do before you can be at peace with yourself, or something like that. Like, and that at least would have provided context for the fact that Luke just disappeared at the end and just passed away. I'm so upset that Luke died. Can you tell? But Yoda did great. It was great having him back. Okay. Again, I liked it, but I was very conflicted. No true Skywalkers left. I said that. Leia should have died. I said that. Cinematography. Amazing. I was in awe of the cinematography in this movie, from the lightspeed crash to the battle at the end there with the red and the white, and then all the battles in space, even in the parts where they were on Canto Bight, that cinematography was beautiful. When the ship, there was like a ship slash aircraft, and it like went off the water, off the top of a waterfall, and just started floating in the air. Like, that was really cool. I was like, oh, I want to take that little cruise. Yeah, the cinematography was great. I I should have looked up the name of the cinematographer, but I will after this. They did a very good job, so good job to them. I really, really, really enjoyed all of that. The score, I've listened to it twice now. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's, as usual, I mean, John Williams, come on. As usual, it's amazing. I'm not even gonna talk that long about it because it's John Williams. You know how good it is. Okay. Now let's talk about the battles, and then I'll be done. I will start with the opening battle. When Poe is trying to take out the cannon. I really liked that. I liked Poe's initiative. I mean, obviously it didn't pay off for him. But they did take down the cannon. I thought it was really cool to like see how effective he was with that, and that was exciting. Now I'm just gonna get to what I wanted to talk about the whole time. Rey and Kylo, that battle. I mean, I've talked about it a little bit, but it was amazing. And the fact that they just like, we thought we were gonna, I knew he wasn't gonna kill Rey, but like, it looked like he was gonna kill Rey, and Snoke totally bought it. And then he just like slowly rotated the lightsaber next to Snoke with it, and just, it'll just cut Snoke in half. That was hilarious. Also, wouldn't it just pierce a hole in him? Like, or did Kylo like make the lightsaber swoosh on him? Because his body just completely fell in half, which was funny, but it was like, what? I liked that Snoke like hit the lightsaber into the back of Rey's head. That made me cringe. I was like, ah. Oh my god, it's getting late. I need to stop this. Yeah, I loved that whole battle. Seeing them fight together was so cool, and now all I want left in life is to see them either fight together again or have an epic over-the-top force battle against each other. That would be so cool. Again, the battle at the end was beautiful to watch and very nerve-wracking, but it was amazing. And yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up right now. I was gonna talk more about the battles, but I thought all the battles were really cool. It was mainly just the fact that they had so many characters. It was overwhelming, and the fact that they killed Luke and they didn't kill Leia. Like, those are the main things that annoyed me in this movie. And when I say I'm upset that they didn't kill Leia, it's not because I don't like Princess Leia. I absolutely do. I think she's an amazing role model for girls, in terms of the fact that she is tough, and she pulls her own weight. Like, she fires the guns and commands armies. Like, she's not just being dragged around all the time by people, and I really like Princess Leia, and I've kind of like really looked up to her for my whole life, and it's heartbreaking to have her die, but I think that moment that I had with her, like when I was crying in the theater and she was floating in space, and I was like, wow, this is a really beautiful send-off, and then she wasn't dead, and there was that corny flying thing, and I was just like, so yeah, I just think that they should have just ended it there, because I don't want her to have an off-screen death, and I don't know what they're gonna do for episode 9, but I hope it's fulfilling. And again, Luke Skywalker is like my favorite character, one of my favorite characters of all time, and I just love him so much. And I'm really sad that he's dead. And especially because I want to see him battling with that lightsaber more and showing us how great of a Jedi Master he is, despite the fact that he failed Kylo, and he like legit failed Kylo, and is totally out of character for the fact that he would even consider killing him, by the way. It was so out of character. I mean, Mark Hamill said that taking off that monster's arm in the beginning of Empire Strikes Back was out of character. So if taking off a monster's arm to save his own life is out of character, then killing his nephew is out of character. So, I mean, I know he didn't do it at the last minute, but like, he wouldn't have done that. And so I just think that that Luke Skywalker in this movie, like, some parts of him were so fulfilling, and I was like, oh my god. And then other parts of that they gave Luke in this movie, I was just like, don't you dare, I will sue you. And I'm pretty sure I said during the movie, I was like, if they kill Luke, I'll sue them. And then they did. I'm not actually gonna sue Disney. I love Disney, but like, that hurt. It hurt so badly. But let me guys know. Oh, that was not English. Let me know what you guys think of this movie down in the comments. You can spoil, because this is my spoiler review. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, because I took time out of my studying to make this for you all. I'm just, who am I kidding? This is mainly so I can get all this talking off my chest, because I need to talk to this movie about as many people. I need to talk about this movie with as many people as possible. And hi YouTube, you're my group of people, because not everyone I know has seen it yet. But yeah, I just think that this movie was overall very good. There were great things about it. There were things I didn't like about it. It's very controversial, but let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content that's Star Wars related, comic book movie related, Stranger Things related, Game of Thrones related, all of that. If you want to see that from me, make sure to subscribe. I do a lot of trailer reactions. And yeah, let me know what you think of this movie. And if for some reason you're crazy and you watched this review before you saw the movie, then A, go see the movie, and B, tell me if you still want to see the movie. I hope you go watch it. I just spoiled the whole thing for you, but yeah. So have a good night, everyone. Wish me luck on my finals. I will not be posting another video until after my finals are done, and yeah, I'll probably be posting videos throughout break, and I will be at my home in my bedroom, not in front of this or that or my door. It's just okay. I need to end this video because it's 41 minutes long. Bye.